Hello friends, my name is Koolio and welcome back to the channel. Today guys, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 upcoming RPG mobile games for 2018 and 2019. Now, this video is more of an unscripted type of list. I decided not to kind of write down all my thoughts about these different games, but rather just share my personal opinion with you on why I'm excited for these upcoming games and why you should be hyped for them. So starting off the list, which is a game that has recently gone into open beta as of today for a certain amount of countries. It's not globally released, but there are English versions for the game, and I did make a video about it I think about like a week or two ago. That game is called Rangers of Oblivion. This is an upcoming Monster Hunter style action MMORPG. Now, if you haven't seen it already, I'll leave a link down in the description for you guys to go check out my first look impressions video for the game. But it really impressed me on. It's kind of like a leap forward for mobile MMORPGs, specifically gaming on the mobile platform. Now, if you guys have been following the channel for a while, whenever I check out new MMOs for the mobile devices, there's always automatic gameplay or auto questing, and you don't actually end up playing the game, and it's super frustrating. But with Rangers of Oblivion, because it's a Monster Hunter style game, and you have to focus on the timing of your abilities, the timing of your attacks, the different types of weapons that you can use in the game, you're dodging. You also have to pay attention to the attack designs and the style of the different beasts and monsters or behemoths that you'll be fighting against. There is no auto combat. There is auto pathing for questing, but there is no auto questing for the game. So you go into these large open dungeoned areas where you can fight monsters, like lower tiered monsters, for materials. You can craft and gather things to make better and better armor, so you can go out and fight stronger and stronger monsters. And honestly, the gameplay for that game is a lot of fun. It's a game that I'm really looking forward to for its global release, because of how impressed I am that the gameplay is the main draw for this game. There are several different types of weapons, and each weapon feels completely different from the others. You can either be a fast-wielding double-blade attacker with like low defense. You can be a lancer and a shield that has high defense, but slow attack speed, and all sorts of different types of ways that you can customize your overall character. You can also make potions and food that you can eat before you go into dungeons to give you specific attack bonuses, defense bonuses, resistance to certain types of monsters. So you have to think about it before jumping into the fights when you're taking down some of these behemoths. And it's actually a pretty challenging game. Once you get, an hour or two into the game, you start coming across these behemoths that you really have to pay attention to, that are just an absolute blast to play. And there is multiplayer combat in this game. We can run into these dungeons and these open world areas with your friends and take down some of these behemoths, each of you taking on a different type of class or different type of play style in order to take on these behemoths. And that's one of the big bonuses as well as to why I'm excited for that game, is that multiplayer aspect. Okay, so the next game I want to talk about is The Day After Tomorrow. Now, this game released, I believe, about a month or two ago in China. It's an open world sandbox zombie MMORPG that I've been following for quite a while now. Now, I've been playing it on my phone casually here and there, but the language barrier has been really difficult trying to overcome certain quests or certain situations, due to the fact that it is a sandbox game and it allows you to kind of do whatever you want once you've gotten past most of the tutorials at the beginning. There are open world boss fights, there are group dungeons, group raids, there is PvP in the game. There's a lot of stuff for this game, and I think it's going to be a huge game once it releases globally in the world. Now, I've played the game on and off, like I said, on my own device. There's a lot of different things that you can do in this game that you can focus on, not specifically just combat, but there's also crafting. You can build your own house, gather resources. You can go hunting for pigs and deers and stuff to collect materials and meat to make specific dishes and stuff to heal you, to give you bonuses and things like that. There's tons of zombies out in the world, and they're actually pretty difficult. Like coming across certain boss zombies that have just come out of nowhere and almost destroyed me, with different zombies having different abilities and mechanics behind them. I've seen gameplay footage of hundreds and hundreds of players going out to large open world areas and taking on open world bosses that take nearly half an hour to an hour to take down because of how difficult they are, getting special items and special cosmetic items for your characters, awesome weapon designs. Just overall, the game is another step forward for mobile gaming, because there is no auto questing, there is no auto combat. You actually have to pay attention to what's going on. The zombies are difficult, the gameplay is a lot of fun, the PvP is an absolute blast. There's a lot of things to look forward to this game, I don't know exactly when it's going to come out, English or globally. I'm hoping sometime next year, maybe within the next 6 months, but it's definitely a game I think you guys should keep on your radar because of the fact that it's a game that you can actually play that has so much stuff to do. Okay, coming in at number 3 is a game that I've been keeping my eye on. I've seen some gameplay here and there, but other than that, there hasn't been a whole lot of news, and that is Skylanders Ring of Heroes. Now, if you guys are familiar with Summoners Wars, it's a gacha game, a monster collector game that's been pretty popular. It's got an esports tournament, esports population behind it that follows the game, and it was a really popular mobile game, and it still has a really big fan base behind it. Well, the developers behind that game teamed up with the publishers and the game developers for Skylanders to create a mobile game called Skylanders Ring of Heroes. Now, it has almost identical gameplay elements to Summoners Wars, where you go around, you collect monsters, you have runes that you can equip onto the monsters, you have a story mode that you play through, dungeons, you collect, you know, the game is going to be very similar to Summoners War, but an almost increased quality behind it with the Skylanders franchise pushing the game forward. Now, Skylanders is a really popular game, especially for younger audiences, and I think that's going to make this game a huge game in 2019. When this game finally releases, I think it's going to bring in people from the gacha gaming community, it's going to bring in people from Summoners Wars, and it's going to bring in a lot of non-gacha gaming players that love the Skylanders franchise. And it is a big franchise with a lot of different characters and stuff that you can collect in the game. So it's going to be really interesting for them to bring those characters into this mobile gaming platform that's essentially Summoners War mixed with the Skylanders Heroes. So that's a game I think you guys should keep on your radar as well. There isn't a whole lot of information right now, but as the game continues to develop and work and we get closer to launch, there's going to be more information, more gameplay. And if the game does eventually come out soon or into some kind of beta test, I'm hoping to take a first look impressions video at it. Okay, coming in at number 2 is Diablo Immortal. Now hold on, I know some of you guys are going to run straight to the comment section and just start yelling, Koolio, what are you thinking? This game is going to be terrible. Did you not pay attention to what Blizzard did? Did you not see the insane press, you know, destruction for the Blizzard games and all the players that were so mad at it? Yes, I did see that, and I will be a player and a content creator that will 100% say that Blizzard messed up with the announcement of Diablo Immortal. A lot of us were expecting the next Diablo game to come out, Diablo 4, and instead at a PC gaming conference, they announced a mobile game as their highlight. That's not something that you do. Now, there was another game that was in almost a similar context to the Diablo franchise. This game, we were all waiting for the next iteration of this game coming out. I don't want to say it because it's my #1 pick for the upcoming RPG, but we were all waiting for the next big moment for this PC franchise. Then they announced there was a mobile version of it, but then shortly after they announced, hey, don't worry, we are working on the next PC version of the game. And the player base was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'll try this mobile version now. The PC one's coming down the line. We know it's there. With Diablo Immortal, they announced the mobile version, and then they didn't say anything about the PC version, and they focused solely on this mobile version, and that's where the player base got really mad. Now, that set aside, you can't blame the game itself. And here's my reasoning. The people that have had a chance to play Diablo Immortal was in like a 30-minute to 1-hour alpha testing session at BlizzCon. A lot of features were blocked off. There was no customization, there was no skill customization, no item drops that you could use to customize your item. You couldn't even look at the inventory. And a lot of people coming out and saying, like, I've watched the videos about it too. There's a lot of people saying the gameplay's a lot of fun, but they still need to work on some stuff. It feels like a really light version of Diablo, which is fine. I think that's kind of what they're going for, but you can't blame the game. Now, I know there's a community of players that are excited for Diablo Immortal, but they feel afraid to say that they are excited because a majority of online gaming people, which PC players, are very vocal about what happened with BlizzCon and the announcement of Diablo Immortal. However, I think that's a good thing, the fact that the player base got so angry, because it makes Blizzard really carefully consider how they're going to monetize Diablo Immortal going forward and how they're going to polish and make the game a more incredible experience. Now, I honestly think Diablo Immortal is going to be a huge game in next year. There's going to be lots and lots of people playing it, and I really do think once we actually get our hands on the full gaming experience, a lot of people are going to be pretty excited about Diablo Immortal. A lot of people are going to enjoy the game, and a lot of the backlash that happened before is going to subside a little bit, but I do believe that Diablo Immortal is going to be a massive game coming out next year, despite the backlash of the PC player base. And I believe that the player base and the community that backlash against Blizzard is mainly just how they announced it and how they handled BlizzCon and how there wasn't an announcement for Diablo 4. But to be honest, like I said, you can't blame the mobile game because we haven't had a chance to try it out yet. But once it comes out, I do believe it will be a massive hit. Okay, coming in at the #1 spot for my most anticipated upcoming RPG game for the mobile platform is the Elder Scrolls Blades. Now, like I said during the Diablo part, I said that there was a game that was announced that shortly after they announced the PC version coming out. Now, it has been, I believe, 7 years since Skyrim released, and a lot of people have been waiting for the Elder Scrolls 6. And so it's very similar to how Diablo released a long time ago, 2012, and how everyone was waiting for Diablo 4 to be announced. Now everyone was waiting for Elder Scrolls 6 to be released, and when they announced that there was a mobile game, some people were like kind of sitting on the edge of their seat, and then they gave us a teaser showing us, yes, we are working on Elder Scrolls 6. And so now the community is like, okay, I can give the Elder Scrolls Blades a chance. Now, it isn't going to be a massive open world game like the Elder Scrolls, but it is going to be a very trimmed down, light version of Elder Scrolls on our phone with character customization, items that you can collect, quests that you can go on, and in fact, you have like a town that you can build and develop. And I think one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to, and I hope they have a way to implement this, is the large variety of story content and immersion that this game can bring. Now, I know it's not going to be open world, but I would like it like when we go into dungeons and areas where we have to fight, that we can come across hidden notes and hidden spell books, hidden weapons, things that you can find and collect. Like when those games come out, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and things like that, there's so many videos of people talking about, hey, you want the best secret weapon? It's hidden in this area. You want to know how to build your character the best way? Do you want to know where this hidden quest and how to complete it? I really hope that we get that kind of sense of feel for this mobile gaming experience for the Elder Scrolls Blades, even though it's not going to be this massive open world. But I really do think the community is going to back it up, and there's going to be a lot of these really fun videos talking about secret weapons, how to craft certain things, how to explore certain dungeons, maybe hidden paths. There's a lot of stuff that could potentially be awesome about the Elder Scrolls Blades. Now, there hasn't been a whole lot of news about it since its announcement, and they did say that they're gonna push it forward, I believe spring of 2019, so it's gonna be a while till the game comes out. And when it officially does come out, I will be making a first look impressions video for that game. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit more of a ranting video, but I really wanted to dig down and share my personal experience and my personal thoughts about each of these different games as they're coming out. Now guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe for more mobile gaming videos coming in the future. See you, my friends.